Jeff Faniff received his MPA in 2021 from Princeton School of Public and International Affairs. His path to entrepreneurship was not exactly conventional. He graduated in 2010 from Harvard and then spent a few years teaching history to high school students. In 2013, he made the decision to join the U.S. Marine Corps. While in the Marines, Jeff gained leadership training and was eventually promoted to the position of Company Executive Officer of the U.S. Marine Corps Boot Camp. Throughout his 6 years in the military, Jeff made himself known as someone who worked hard to help others succeed. He designed and led several programs which led to higher certification rates and to increased testing scores. During this time, Jeff also spent time in politics as the campaign manager of a candidate for the U.S. Congress. When Jeff arrived at Princeton, he expected to pursue a career in public policy. However, he quickly found himself immersed in entrepreneurship. First, he consulted with a startup working in wound care. Then he spent the summer of 2020 working on a Tiger Challenge team focused on gerrymandering. During the summer and then during the following semester in Professor Rob Van Varick's Community Project Studios, Jeff's impact on the team was very apparent. As Professor Van Varick said, Jeff has a healthy leadership style, and it was immediately apparent. In January 2021, Jeff joined PEC's Startup Bootcamp, working on his own startup idea of creating a marketplace for adventure-seeking tourists to find local guides. Throughout the bootcamp, Jeff workshopped his idea, speaking with potential customers and understanding their pain points. Jeff and his team did a remarkable job bringing AdventureList from an idea to a business proposal within the course of the bootcamp. And at the conclusion of the program, he won the $10,000 prize, the judge's choice for best presentation. With an understanding of what he wanted to accomplish with his startup and with increased confidence in the viability of his idea, Jeff was selected to join the 2021 eLab program. Over the summer, he worked with a small team to build and test an MVP and then to officially launch his company, AdventureList. This past August, as Jeff was preparing to head out to join the 2023 class at Stanford Business School, the US military withdrew from Afghanistan. Under extreme time pressure, Jeff quickly found himself trying desperately to evacuate people as Kabul fell to the Taliban. In his own words, Jeff said, "The entrepreneurial mindset I learned at Princeton enabled me to save more than 100 Afghans and Afghan Americans. I applied what I had learned from the Keller Center and the PEC, ask the right questions, determine key stakeholders, assess pain points, and solve them." In the course of 8 days, Jeff, working with his colleagues and friends, helped to guide more than 100 people to safety. Jeff is now at Stanford University, where I expect he will continue both to make an impression and to make a difference. Jeff, it is my honor to award to you a 2021 Tiger Entrepreneur Award.
Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. I'm deeply honored to receive this prize, and I'm so grateful for all that Princeton taught me in learning that entrepreneurship can truly change lives and change the world.
Ray Award, Joseph Rubin, and Ron Myasnik, all seniors at Princeton this year, are the founders of Adora. The idea of Adora came after a friend's visit to Princeton's campus. They were disappointed that the feedback from his visit did not match up with their own experiences on campus, and that the campus tour did not give their friend a look into the parts of campus that they expected would have been most compelling to him. They saw a problem with the one-size-fits-all campus tours in that it does not allow prospective students to envision how they may fit into life on campus. And additionally, the need to visit campus in person to get this sense is prohibitive to many prospective students. Adora was born to address this problem of campus visits. Their idea was to develop a new way to visit campus using a mobile app that offers personalized tours that can be done at the visitor's pace. These three founders worked hard on their company during the academic year. They also spent the summer in the eLab making further refinements. And with a presentable prototype, they approached the Office of Admissions at Princeton. They were fortunate that Emily Crosby, Princeton's Assistant Dean for Events and Visitor Management, is also a visionary. With Adora's vision and with Emily's support, the company was able to secure their first customer, Princeton University. Adora was groundbreaking in many ways. They were the first student-owned startup to become a vendor to Princeton. They were also the first investment of Princeton's newly formed Prospect Student Ventures, where student investors make investments in student founders. And they are the first company that was founded and built by students who then went on to a successful exit, all while remaining full-time students at Princeton. This past March, Adora was acquired by Full Measure Education, which gave them a larger team and a more direct pathway to the market. Rhea, Joseph, and Ron stayed on with the company to ensure that the transition went smoothly, and they worked hard on a product developed in collaboration with Coalition for College to offer more equitable campus access for all students. Ann Kirshner, graduate alum of the class of '78 and a member of Princeton's Board of Trustees, served as a mentor to Adora. She had this to say about the team. Like many entrepreneurial endeavors, the Adora story seems obvious in retrospect. It is difficult to appreciate how hard they pushed to make it work. It took them 8 months to get their first contract. They were told that Princeton doesn't partner with students. They were told no by 25 schools before getting their second customer. Then came COVID and the great pivot. Their initial vision of digital on-campus tours was scrapped and rebuilt and relaunched successfully in the few months following March 2020. Rhea, Joseph, and Ron, together as the founders of Adora, it is my pleasure to award you with the Tiger Entrepreneur Award.
Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. Adora is a Princeton story through and through, and we are so grateful to the vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem here on campus that came together to support us, from Emily Crosby at admissions to the Princeton Entrepreneurship Council, the Keller Center, Prospect Student Ventures, Make Ventures Princeton, Orange Key, and the many alums and students who are our team members, advisors, and mentors along the way. So thank you to all of you for the platform to build Adora, and of course now for this recognition.
100% agreed. I'm also really, really appreciative for all the resources that Ron mentioned, as well as the opportunity itself that Princeton's afforded us to go and build Adora.
Thank you so much for this award. I'm also very appreciative for my co-founders, who I could not have done this without. And I'm really excited for what we're going to do now. For everything we've learned with this experience, we're capable of doing so much afterwards.
Shawan Jackson, the founder of Vocal Justice, is an alumnus from the class of 2015. While at Princeton, it became clear to him that he needed to rethink the purpose of education. He said, education should not just be about upward mobility. It should reveal insidious injustices and teach us how to correct them. After graduating from Princeton, Shawan completed a dual degree from the Harvard Kennedy School of Government and the Stanford Graduate School of Business. It was during this time that he developed and launched his entrepreneurial startup, Vocal Justice. Vocal Justice's mission is to inspire and prepare Black and Brown youth to use their authentic voices to advocate for social justice. The curriculum that Shawan has developed has 3 core units, one on self-awareness, one on social awareness, and one on social change. Throughout the programming, the emphasis is on the importance of speaking with dignity and authenticity. Shawan's programming is different from many other nonprofits working with high school and middle school students. Vocal Justice looks for youth who are not already excelling academically. Shawan prioritizes young people who are behind academically, who are viewed as low potential, because he wants to reach students who are often overlooked when it comes to leadership development programs. As he grew his startup, Shawan realized that doing all the teaching himself would not allow his organization to scale. So in January 2021, he transitioned to a train-the-trainer model. Vocal Justice now trains and compensates middle and high school teachers across the US to produce justice-oriented public speaking programs in their own schools. They now have 30 teachers in 15 states working with high school and middle school students. Shawan has been recognized for his work. He was selected from a pool of almost 1,800 international applicants to be an Echoing Green Fellow. He is also a Harvard Cheng Fellow and a Stanford Social Innovation Fellow. And he has raised more than $700,000 in funding for his startup from venture funds, as well as from individuals who support his mission. Bernice Fokum, a 2014 Princeton alumna, had this to say: "Perhaps the most inspiring aspect of Shawan's trajectory is that he's committed to helping others make an outsized impact on the world. Shawan's success with vocal justice has demonstrated to young people, especially those from underrepresented communities, that they too can build movements that change their surroundings." Looking forward, Shawan's vision is to use learnings and voices from his national program to inform policy advocacy efforts. He says, Black and Brown youth could be the most powerful advocates for themselves and their communities, but our current education system fails to inspire or prepare them to speak out. Shawan is working to change that. It is my honor, Shawan, to award you a 2021 Tiger Entrepreneur Award.
Thank you so much for the recognition and the kind words, Anne-Marie, and a huge thank you to the entire selection committee for recognizing vocal justice and the work that we're doing. This recognition means a great deal to me because a lot of my thinking for vocal justice began when I was at Princeton, working with some of my friends and classmates when we were teaching public speaking at a youth correctional facility. And it was that experience alongside other moments that I had at Princeton that really laid the groundwork for what we're doing with vocal justice today. And this recognition is not just about me, of course, it's really about all the young people that we're working with. I'm reminded of their brilliance and their passion. And I'm so glad that we have the Princeton community behind us to support us as we continue elevating their voices.
Catherine Denig, an alumna from the class of 2015, has been involved in the Princeton entrepreneurial ecosystem since she was a student on campus. Catherine was one of 2 undergraduate students on the Princeton Entrepreneurship Advisory Committee. It was this group of faculty, alumni, staff, and students who made the recommendation to President Eisgruber that Princeton should intentionally build the entrepreneurial ecosystem both on campus and among its alumni. They termed it Entrepreneurship the Princeton Way. Catherine's career on campus and since graduation has been a testament to Entrepreneurship the Princeton Way. While on campus, Catherine was interested in how an entrepreneurial education impacted life choices. For her thesis, she researched the question of whether undergraduate courses in entrepreneurship had long-term benefits for students. She conducted a survey of the post-graduation life choices and experiences of 1,600 students who completed Princeton professor Ed Chow's high-tech entrepreneurship course over 31 semesters from 1997 to 2013. In her thesis, The Future of Entrepreneurship Education, Strengthening the Liberal Arts Institution at Princeton and Beyond, she presented a rigorous fact-based case for the lasting benefits of entrepreneurship courses. Catherine is the co-founder and CEO of For Sure, a national pet insurance marketplace. Her company specializes in researching and guiding pet parents as they compare different pet insurance policies. They consider the pet's needs and the owner's needs, and then with their knowledge of the different policies available, they educate the consumer as they outline the different options and discuss the benefits and drawbacks, helping to guide them as they choose the right policy for their pet. In July 2020, Catherine was selected from a large pool of applicants to present her new startup, For Sure, at Princeton Women's Founder Showcase. She was awarded the audience favorite. And not long after that, she closed her first round of funding. They now employ 8 and about to be 9 people. Catherine is getting lined up to close her next round of funding in early 2022. As Professor Ed Chow noted, Catherine exemplifies on several dimensions the personal qualities, actions, and achievements that the award was designed to recognize and celebrate. Catherine, I'm pleased to offer you the 2021 Tiger Entrepreneur Award.
Thank you so much, Anne-Marie and the Princeton Selection Committee. I'm honored and truly grateful to have been selected. It means the world. It's been pretty amazing to see all the progress that Princeton has made in entrepreneurship in the past 6 years. I wrote my thesis, as you mentioned, surveying Ed Chow's former students. Pretty incredible to see how many of them attribute their career decisions to having learned what they learned in his class, especially after spending about a year or 2 working in finance before moving over to tech and becoming founders. So I am really excited to continue supporting the Princeton student and alumni founder community throughout the rest of my life. Myself and my co-founder, who I also met freshman fall at Princeton, he and I feel the exact same way about Princeton entrepreneurship moving on. So thanks so much again for having me, and excited to continue supporting.